Welcome to Champions of Rural America here on Market Day Report. Congressman Randy Feesntra is an Iowa representative who's a member of the Congressional Western Caucus, serving on the House Ag and Ways and Means committees. He's been advocating for farmers, livestock producers, and biofuels since his first term in Congress back in 2021. Representative Feenstra tells us he's proud of the work he's done, including on the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
I'm so excited. I worked with President Trump on writing the big, beautiful bill, and this helps rural America, specifically rural Iowa. It helps our farming community. We create a $15 million exemption on the estate tax, known as the death tax. We dramatically help lower the cost of crop insurance. We actually increased reference prices, especially with corn and soybeans. We took corn from $3.70 to $4.10, with soybeans to $8.70 to $10. This is really significant. We also invested in making sure that we stop foreign animal disease like avian bird flu, like African swine fever that's in our hogs right now that we hope never gets in our hogs. These are very important pieces to this reconciliation bill, the big, beautiful bill that people don't always get to talk about. But for our farming community, this is really big. And then finally, we also doubled 179 depreciation and bonus depreciation. So right now, you can actually expense up to $2.5 million on 179 depreciation. This is really significant. And then immediate expensing. If a farmer wants to build a new shop, if a farmer wants to build a new facility, they can immediate expense instead of having write it over 30 years.
Feenstra says though the bill was helpful to farmers, he'd still like to see a farm bill passed.
Tell you what, the Farm Bill is so important to rural America, but we have to remember about 85% of that Farm Bill was in the reconciliation bill, in the big, beautiful bill. But there's still several components that we've got to make sure get passed in this Farm Bill. One is conservation. That includes CRP land, also more research dollars for our institutions. And then finally, we have to grow our export markets. And to do that, we have to include dollars for refrigeration. So our dairy, our cattle, our hogs, all these things can be exported. That's why this Farm Bill is so important, and I hope we get it passed.
Representative Feenstra talked about the importance of keeping farmland from falling into the wrong hands.
This is very serious, and I'm glad we're really talking about this. We have to protect our security of our nation, and that means we have to understand who's buying our farmland. We can't have our foreign adversarial countries buying our land. For instance, China, they bought land in North Dakota by an Air Force facility. That cannot happen. So I'm leading the charge to make sure that American farmland stays with the American farmer. That is key. That will get done. We're hoping that also gets in the Farm Bill.
He also spoke about fertilizers being added to critical minerals lists.
Adding to the critical minerals list, phosphate and potash are so important. Right now, a lot of that is made overseas. Specifically, 40% of it is made in China. This creates a massive security issue, again, for our country. To make sure that these two items, phosphate and potash, are on the critical minerals list, that allows and reduces the red tape so we can make our fertilizer right here in America. Again, America first, and working with our farmers to lower the input costs. That's why this is so important.
Finally, Representative Feenstra spoke about the importance of rural America to our country.
Rural America is so important to our country because we are the breadbasket to the world. We also create domestic energy. This is the only place in the United States that can happen, right in the Midwest. It's so important. Our biofuels are being created there, and all the food that goes around the world is created right in the Midwest. That's why rural America is so important.
We'd like to thank Congressman Feenstra for his time, and we'll see you next time on Champions of Rural America.